And we're live now. So, some major technical difficulties already for this one. Audio not working properly as far as our intro, which is unfortunate because Randy worked so hard on that. We like to play it. Didn't get to happen. But episode 5 here tonight of Ghostfire Media Podcast. I'm Larry Patrick.
I'm Adam Wood.
I'm Carl Henderson.
Josh Laston.
Nick producer. Adams.
Yo, I got a serious question. Why'd y'all really have to salute or wave? That was weird.
Adam did it, so I followed.
I to show off my Whataburger sponsor, man.
I didn't even have my drink in my hand. I was like, shit, I gotta do it too.
Hey, so all right, man. Week 5 of the podcast, we get to discuss again as every week. IVRL. We got special guest Nicholas Weatherby with us here tonight. I believe that's how we pronounce it. Hopefully, if not, he'll correct me when he comes in. I'm sure. And TNT series, phenomenal race by the TNT this week at Richmond. Nobody's seen that coming. The truck series, that was an interesting one at Daytona.
That's what we call it. Interesting.
I'm sure you got a lot to say about that one there, Adam. And then we're going to talk Cup, the race last week, which I missed. So where was the race at?
Martinsville.
Thank you. I'm glad I kind of missed that. And then we're going to talk about the Cup going to Martinsville this week. So
No, we're going to Richmond.
That's what I meant. God, see.
There's a lot of
Richmond Raceway.
Richmond
Raceway.
Or previous.
Richmond International Speedway, whichever one we want to call it.
It's just Richmond Raceway now, apparently.
It's still, in my mind, it will always be RIR.
They dropped the I.
I don't
of course
know,
they did.
I don't know why. But anyways.
It's
It
stupidity.
stays on domain space.
Fair enough. Actually, that kind of makes sense. All right. But anyways.
Their website was always, I think their website was always RIR.com. What do they do now? Change to RR.com?
Yeah, Roadrunner.
Welcome to Roadrunner Speedway, everybody.
Well.
Anyway.
So without further ado, man, we're going to bring in our first guest here tonight. So without further ado, let's bring in Nicholas Weatherby. Nick, man, how's it going?
It's going good.
We appreciate having you here, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Car, series, all the good 411?
Yeah, pretty much. I am a kid from New York. I am taking part in the IVRL Cup series. As far as I know, I think I'm 6th in points, but Richmond was a tough one, so I'm probably going to drop. Dude, that race. Oh, my God.
Richmond's rough for everyone. Don't feel bad. Except for like 3 people.
Yeah, that was hard. It was near the end. It was at the end, like near the end of the race. I was finally starting to get used to the fixed setup that we were getting, because the fixed setup was pretty tight on the long runs. So it was just a pain to finally get used to it.
And useless off turn 4.
Sounds about right. Right.
Turn 4 at Richmond is a pain on the rear end anyhow.
Hey, Nick, you stayed out of the wall, though, so that's good.
Yeah.
But Nicholas, you have been one of the more consistent people this year in the IVRL Buccaneer Cup Series so far. So how have you how close do you feel you are to that first win of the year?
I'm glad you asked that. I'm pretty happy with how I'm doing. I skipped Martinsville, of course, because I knew that was going to be a bad one. So I dodged that bullet, which on the first lap, they apparently had a car jam. So
it's called a clusterfuck. That's what I like to call it, and that's what happened.
Yeah, you didn't miss much at Martinsville except a lot of drama. That's all you missed. It really wasn't. It wasn't a driver's race. It was definitely a broadcaster's race where we tried to keep everybody from falling asleep.
We did eye-pacing 275.
Yeah, it was like 180 laps of pacing. It wasn't anything. It was definitely not. You guys 100% showed exactly what the league was about on Tuesday. That was the real IVRL. I think the week before you guys had the replacements. Like me and Randy were talking. My dog finished 7th last Tuesday, and his dog finished 3rd. So I think you guys all had substitutes in there.
Yeah, that's also another thing. Richmond, I'm not really good at short tracks, so I wasn't really expecting to lead a couple laps. When I did, I was pretty proud of myself, but I'm looking forward to Talladega because I really enjoy plate tracks, and hopefully I get a win. I'm gonna really try to get a win to lock myself in because just missing Martinsville, I dropped 2 spots, which isn't a lot, but for how competitive the series is, it can be detrimental. So I'm really trying to keep the consistency up.
Yeah, so I ran it the whole entire year last year. It's long season, and being consistent. I was in the top 10 most of the year. I fell back a couple races depending on it, but drivers in the league are coming and going. I think this year a lot more people are staying due to the prize money and or the prizes. You're trying to get a butt kicker out of it, and the prize money at the end of the year. So I think it's got a little bit more incentive versus last year. So that's my goal. I missed quite a few races at the beginning due to moving to Texas, so I'm trying to stay consistent, and I can't stay consistent in that league whatsoever. I'm having issues every week. Richmond's just not my race. I don't think I really had any issues. I just suck terribly at it.
So, Adam, if you were in the top 10 most of last season, what the hell's happened this year?
Hey, dude, I haven't had nothing but bad luck. I've gotten destroyed on 3 racetracks so far, not to my doing. And then Richmond, not so good. I got last week at Martinsville, I finished 7th, and I finished the second stage. I was 4th. So I call that a win from that chaotic mess. So that's the only track I didn't get destroyed completely. I got spun a couple times and caught up in other people's stuff. But so I'm trying, and but I think Atlanta I got messed up in. Bristol I got taken out in the second lap, and it's always at the second or third lap. It's always just destroying my car, and I have to ride around for 400 miles doing nothing.
Sounds about like you in every league there, Adam.
Yeah, well, Larry, it sounds like you too. So it's kind of the pot calling the kettle black.
I just want to point out I had a 3rd in my last race.
Yeah,
a year ago.
Did you just quit because you were just going to go out?
I felt like I reached my peak.
I was gonna say, because you were the most talented guy in the track.
It's every podcast from now on. I had a 3rd in my last race. It's going to keep happening.
And if he never races again, he always could say that. My last race, I finished 3rd.
It's not that I'm gonna say I finished 3rd. It's gonna say that I beat Steve, Justin, and Joe. So I'll take it. I haven't beat Blake yet, but one day I swear it's coming.
And you also owe the Walls a dinner after that race as well.
Tomato, tomato.
But anywho, back to our guest. Nicholas, the IVRL has been extremely competitive in the midfield. Do you think that, other than yourself, there are 3 or 4 guys who can really take that fight to Joseph as we get further into the season? Everybody gets a little bit more, comfortable with the people they're racing around. You guys learn each other, and you learn how he races.
Yes, I am honestly shocked that Christian Converse hasn't even gotten a win yet. He's literally been up front every race almost, except Bristol and Martinsville and Richmond. I haven't seen him race much often. Harvey, he had a really good run at Bristol Dirt. He caught me off guard, actually. I was not expecting him to be that quick, and when he was, it was fun run against him. Patrick Gaspar, God. He's also pretty good. He did pretty well at Richmond. He's definitely a short track guy, in my opinion. Also, I feel he'll be pretty tough at plate tracks. But other than that, I really see those guys so far. Hopefully someone surprises me at Talladega. But so far it's just those. Adam.
I love plate racing.
The great equalizer there, right?
Surprised you by being 21st out of 23 drivers.
Hey, hey, I have a question. I see your picture there. How are you at road courses? I'm sure you guys got at least one coming up this season, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, my debut. I think I got like fourth in our Daytona road course.
Yep, at Daytona road course, you were one of the movers and shakers of the race, as Randy Pepper would call it. You were definitely one of the guys who came out of nowhere that we hadn't heard a lot about that week. And that was actually, I like how Larry just kind of knows my questions without actually knowing them. That's a great way for me to follow up with. In a couple of weeks, the IVRL and Ghostfire Media broadcasting the race makes the debut at COTA. So are you excited to bring a 3,500-pound stock car around a track that is primarily made for touring cars and Indy cars?
Oh,
Formula One.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, Formula One. I love Formula One, but yes, I
think that track was purposefully built though back for IndyCar when they were trying to bring Indy back to Texas for road courses.
Yeah.
And then F1 was like, "Hey, this is a nice track."
Yeah, I can't remember when F1 debuted there. I know it was 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Hamilton's won every one of them except I think one of them, maybe two of them.
Yeah,
it was during the Mercedes, the
it's
V6 turbo era. So
yeah, it was the first year of like the 5 championships in a row for Lewis right now, or 6, whatever it is.
But yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I'm the only thing I'm worried about is my pedals. I did clean them out, and they actually did work at Richmond. I was having an issue with my gas pedal; it would fluctuate. It would say that I'm still on the gas, but I'm not. So it would probably result in me overshooting the corner. But I managed it in Daytona road course. I'm probably gonna manage it at COTA, but if I really want to win COTA, I need to start practicing now because that track has a lot of blind corners from what I know. I could be wrong. Also, tires will definitely need to be managed well. It's also a big track. I think it's like 30 laps we're doing, or 40.
It is. Give me 1 second. I think it's still to be announced how many laps you guys are doing there. But knowing what NASCAR is supposed to be doing, you guys do like 65% races. It's probably gonna be around 40 or 45 laps, something like that.
Yeah, then tire management will definitely be a big thing. Kind of like I wonder if it'll be like Sonoma, with it being super slick and whatnot. But I also wonder if they're gonna use the low downforce or the high downforce. They're probably gonna use low downforce like they've been using all year for road courses. I personally feel high downforce kind of offers a more relaxed racing experience, if you understand what I mean, Adam. Like,
oh yeah, I mean at that road course, I mean I haven't driven COTA yet, but at any road course with cup cars in general, you have to be consistent and you have to be on point, because you hit the brake a little bit too hard, you're locking it up. Don't hit the brake enough, you're not slowing down, you're going to overshoot the corner. They're heavy, they're not meant to go right in that manner, so to speak, and to get those fine-tuned, it takes a lot more to be consistent in a NASCAR Cup car on road courses than your Indy car would be.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm really looking forward to Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen is my home track, actually, so I'm gonna really try to win that for my state. But other than that, I'm pretty excited about it. But I'm also nervous about causing drama.
We love drama here, man.
As I always say, you'll hear it multiple times. Controversy creates cash. The great Eric Bischoff taught me that, and I have lived my life by that motto.
No offense, we're going to veer off topic for just a half a second. Is he really the great Eric Bischoff if he ran WCW down the drain? Anyways.
He didn't run him down the drain, but
we could have a wrestling podcast if you want, Larry, but there's a story behind that, and Ted Turner and all the people.
Now you're doing too much for me. Hey, Nicholas, Justin Anderson threw a question out there for you, man. He said you finished in the top 10 in every race so far this season. He wants to know if you plan the strategy with the stages and pit stops in advance.
I kind of do before the race. Cody puts out what our stage laps are going to be and whatnot. And for Richmond, I really went in with no plan because Richmond is not my type of track at all. My type of track are the half miles and the plate tracks. Like those are my kind of tracks. I don't like hitting the brake. I don't. It's not.
I know with me on Tuesday night, I came one lap short, I think, from making it to the end of that stage break. I was trying to feather the gas there the last like 20 laps, and we were just that shy. I don't know. I think some people were able to make it. I could not save enough fuel to make it to the first stage break and had to come back in. So
yeah, that stage, I actually ran out of gas while entering pit road. I was literally out of gas. That's why I was kind of holding up the line of cars behind me, is because I was really trying to save fuel, and they were telling me to get up to catch the field, and but I understand they're trying to get positions, but man, I was trying to save gas, and when I full throttled it to get to the pit lane, my car started to feather, and luckily I made it to my pit box and I got more fuel. But it was definitely a interesting race, especially for how the setup was. It was a really tight setup. Like, you had to be really slow through turns 3 and 4 after like 20 laps. Turns 1 and 2 were probably the most detrimental for tires, in my opinion. I could not get a runoff through that corner. And that's why when I was up front, I would drop back like 5 positions because I just could not get a run in turns 1 and 2. It was just detrimental to me. It just sucked.
Yeah, I tried doing the bottom line. I tried running like a car length up. I tried above the white ticking line there. I couldn't find a fast line. I was, trying to arc it in a little bit further, try to go in a little bit more shallow in the corners. I followed other people's lines. I just couldn't figure out how to be fast, and how everybody else just drove away from me. It's not my track. I have to run it again this Sunday in one of our other leagues in the AOL Cup Series. I'm not looking forward to it. I had a couple people cheering me on. I've already told them, you're going to be disappointed this Sunday.
Yeah, I especially in the Pro NASCAR Series race, there's barely any passing. It's a really bad. The track is not good for passing. It's really not. The top was come into play though in that race. That's what I was noticing. I kind of wish it went into play a little bit in our IVRL race. I don't know if it did. I never tried it because it would just eat my tires up, especially on the fresh tires. I never found out.
So from the broadcast booth, it did look like the outside lane came in about at the halfway point. We saw some guys in the middle of the pack make some moves, and who was it? I think it was who's in the 8? I can't remember who's in the 8.
Which 8? 08 or 8?
It wasn't Will. It was I can't remember who's in the 8.
He messaged me the other day. I had to put his banner on
Brandon Key. Brandon Key. He was able to.
Oh yes, Brandon Key. Oh, he also surprised me actually. That you one of the top 4 contenders I think could probably win in the mid pack. He's definitely one of them.
He came out of nowhere. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
nice.
he came out of nowhere. I was not expecting him, especially for. Didn't he just join the series like races ago?
It was his first race on Tuesday night.
Wow.
Oh, it was his second race. I'm sorry. His first race was Martinsville. His second race was Richmond. So he came in right in the middle of our middle of the season short track swing here.
Wow. Yeah.
It was very interesting for how quickly he picked it up and was able to go out there and challenge Kazi, because he was bringing it to Greg Holt at one point. It was very awesome to see, and he took it to Harvey Abrams late in the race.
Yeah, so. Greg Holt too. There's so many tough competitors. I can't name them all. There's Brandon Key, Christian Converse, Patrick Gaspar. There's Greg Hull, Blake Gordon, but he's no longer running the series. He's focused on AOLL. God.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister. We all get.
I actually,
it's like saying AOL.
At Richmond, when Harvey was in the lead, me and Randy both agreed that if Harvey would have won that race, Blake would have made his return to the league next week because he would have been so pissed off that Harvey won that he would have had to come back and win the race afterwards.
No, Patrick, not him.
No, yeah, I'm sorry, Patrick. Yeah, it was Patrick. If Patrick Gaspar, who was leading, would have won that race.
Those two got bad blood.
It would have been. It would have been the reason Blake came back.
I just want to point out, out of all the tough drivers that he just named in IVRL, he did not name Adam Wu.
Because I've had zero luck whatsoever.
Sorry, had to point that out there.
I would like to say that myself and Randy have nothing against anybody in the IVRL that is in that field. But if we don't focus on you, it's not because we don't think you're good. It's because you haven't had the best of luck. I mean, we focus on Cody McKinney all the time because he's always involved in something that's not of his own creation. We focus on Joey because he's always involved with something if not his own creation. Adam Wood we don't focus on because the last 2 weeks he's been creating the problems himself.
I did create the problem this past week. The week prior, I did. People ran me. And the week prior to that, they ran me too.
Hey, he ran into me.
We don't focus on Adam when he crashes because it happens so. It'd be like if we had Larry up there. Larry's supposed to run that league, but he doesn't. And if Larry was in the field, we wouldn't focus on Larry.
All right. I mean, first off, I do better than Adam. Secondly, I don't run that league.
Beautiful.
Well, see, that's the thing about not running that league. We can debate it all day long. We'll never find out. I just, I can't commit myself to that long of a race. Justin wants to know, does IVRL use dynamic track?
They do.
As far as I know, yes.
The track is dynamic, yes. The track is dynamic and the weather is auto-generated.
Okay.
Yes, so no matter what, even if we practice the race, it could be different. That's why you kind of want to practice in almost any condition, super hot, cold, or in between, to kind of get used to what to expect. But,
it almost forces you guys as competitors to come in to that 45-minute session before the race and really start putting laps down because that's the only time you know exactly what the track is going to be.
Yes, I actually had no practice except those 45 minutes. I put down like 70 laps, practice.
Can you go on the tags on YouTube and put #cat now that the cat was shown?
Yeah, I was thinking that he looks like the crazy cat lady.
To food. It's so close to food time. He's not going to shut up.
No, I mean it's going to help us with views. Like last week when I had the dog, you could have put #dog and we would have blown up. Hundreds of people would have been watching. Like, ooh, dog.
It is what it is, man. So Richmond, IVRL, where are they going next week?
Talladega.
I need teammates for that.
I'll help you, Adam.
Adam, I'll come race.
You won't come race.
No, you won't.
I'll come race. I need the practice with the VR anyways.
You'll get plenty of it, and you'll figure out what does 2.5 hours worth of VR time feels like.
You'll come out nauseated and with a headache.
You just gotta turn the AC down really low, about 70, and just it's awesome at that point.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. What do you think about that one, man? How do you feel heading into Dega?
I feel pretty good. I love Daytona. I actually even did some official races, and I think I even won an official race. I haven't actually truly tried out the new aerodynamics of the plate racing.
It's different. I've won a couple the Carb Cup Degas since the new aero went out, and the outside lane really didn't form as much, and whoever controlled the inside lane kind of had the best go of it. So you have to drag the brake a lot if you want that person to get to your back bumper. And to play the games as the Pied Piper up front, you have to drag the brake too so they can't get a run out of the corner for you. So you drag the brake going into 1 and 2 or 3 or 4 so they can't get that monstrous run for you because it's easier because they're spread apart a little bit further now.
Wow, so they really made some changes to it. Well, now I don't know.
Side drafting's a thing now too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I do like side drafting. Before you really couldn't do it without hitting the other person.
Really close. And then they swerve.
I'm being serious too. You would have to get as close as possible
For
to
20
side draft before this new Arrow update. I did watch Malik Ray. I did watch some of his plate races when that new Arrow dynamic update came out. Also watched Anthony Alfredo. I watched him do and talk about it, and he said it's actually relatively what it's like in real life, but he's like, it doesn't mean it's going to make good racing. But I'm hoping that we all keep it together. We all work together like they do in real life.
I realize it's a really long race, and when you can't win in the first 20, 30 laps.
Oh, that Daytona race, 15th lap, was it? They had the big one already?
I was in the middle of moving. I didn't get to watch that version of it.
Oh, it was actually an entertaining race at first, and then the rain came, and then hours and hours and hours later, then they finally went green.
Well, that's pretty typical rain-delayed races in NASCAR at plate tracks. Is you get 3 or 4 or 5 laps in, or you're delayed 3 hours from the start, and then when you finally get out there, everybody's antsy and they get stupid. And I mean, look at the 2016 Daytona 500, 3 laps into the next day on Monday night, and Jimmy Johnson's up across the track, and Danica Patrick's almost on her roof. I mean, it's just stupidity. You do 200 laps and you do dumb stuff like that. A few laps in.
I don't think Jimmy Johnson's finished a plate race in the last 3 years he raced.
When Jimmy won the Daytona 500, after he won the Daytona 500, his best finish at Daytona was the last year of his career.
Nick,
Which was
you're
2017.
you're like Rain Man, dude. Like, how do you
I
you
just love
remember
NASCAR.
all these details of
I
like?
just love
Yo,
NASCAR.
back in
It's the thing that I
2016.
love.
He's going to be the stats guy for him. He's going to be in the background.
Dude, I remember the only thing I remember in 2016 were tiny spoilers everywhere.
I don't remember anything in
You want to know what's
2016.
great about 2016? If you can remember about 2016, is after the Talladega race, Dale Jr. was on getting interviewed, and he goes, "These goddamn tiny spoilers are ruining all the freaking race, and these things are pieces of shit."
And now he's saying the
and then they
lost
got rid of
spoilers.
him. Then they got rid of him the next year, and then they brought him back, and he goes, "Those tiny spoilers, they're terrible." And then they got the big ones, and he doesn't like the big ones, so you can't make him happy. I love Dale, but you can't make him happy.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, we won't be getting sponsored by Dale Jr. at this point.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No, hey, hold on, wait a
I
second.
down for
No, you know why we
Motorsports is
would
not
be?
gonna be
You know why we
sponsoring us
would?
anytime soon.
You know why we would be sponsored by Dale Earnhardt Jr.? Because I just show off my collection of Dale Earnhardt Jr. die casts behind me and all my hats and shit. Between Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon, I could get a sponsorship based on all the die
He's
casts.
like a serial killer or something.
You're just looking for
He knows
returns
everything
for-
about me.
Oh man,
Oh man.
dude, that was awesome.
So, Nicholas, I've asked the last couple IVRL guys the same question, and I kind of want to ask you the same question. What got you in to, whether it was like real life racing or iRacing, what got you into the sport of motor racing?
So I have been around motor racing all my life. My cousin races a dirt late model. He originally raced a pro stock, which is a stock car, kind of like a NASCAR, but not really. Super Dirt Week Pro Stock Series, I think it's called. I can't remember, but now he's in the Rush Late Model League, or Late Model Series, I think. But he runs a 604 or 602 crate late model, and I've gotten to help him out a few times with it. It's pretty cool to see and hear the engine. Not only that, I've also been to Fulton and Weedsport. I haven't been to a NASCAR race yet. I'm actually going to be going to Dover here soon for the NASCAR race
Bring
down
some
there.
sunscreen. I learned that the hard way. I went to it in the spring race. I think like 2014 or 15. We get done with it, and they're like, "Congratulations, you were at the hottest race of the year so far." And there's no shade, no nothing. It's just plain sucks out there.
Yeah, I'm not only going there to watch the race. I'll also be doing photography. I am also a photographer as well. But motor racing has been around me my entire life. I've always been a fan of Dale Earnhardt Jr. I actually remember in the COT days, back in like, what was it, 2008, 2009, when they were running the GT spoiler, whatever it was.
That was the beginning of the COTs. They only ran it for the first year because every time the car got backwards, it flipped right up in the air.
Yeah, that really did not fix anything. But it was cool to see the cars like that, I thought. But then over the year, I think the last race I truly saw, and then I took a break from NASCAR, was a Watkins Glen race where Dale Earnhardt was, I think, in the top 5. I think he was. And I can't remember who won, but I know Pablo Montoya was still racing. And it was actually a rainy weather as well. It was quite an entertaining race because I think they had a rain delay, and then they went back to racing, and they had, did they do a rain race in the COP?
They did a rain race. The first rain race they did before they started doing them. Well, the last one I should say they did before they started doing them normally again was at Montreal in the old Busch Series cars,
Right.
And that was when they had
yes.
when Danica was first in there, and they had what was his name?
I know who you're talking about. It was like a descendant.
Jacques Villeneuve. Jacques Villeneuve
Yes.
was in there a lot with those cars.
Yes.
Sam Hornish was back there. Yeah, that was the last. I think that was like 2009. I want to say was the last rain race they did before they started doing them regularly recently with rain tires at road courses.
Yeah, because I remember that race. I remember some moments. I can't. Me and my father were always cheering on Dale. He was running, I think, his green and white Mountain Dew car. I think
The Amp Energy Chevrolet with National Guard on the quarter panels.
Once again,
Probably.
way too much information in your head. I've been to I've been to 2 NASCAR races in person. 2. They were both at Talladega. I couldn't tell you what year or what happened. I could tell you that Dale Earnhardt Jr. won one of them, and that's it. Don't know what car he was driving, nothing. That's about all I can tell you. But
Junior only ran one green and white paint scheme.
I'm
ever.
just saying.
And it was the Amp Energy mount. It was the Amp Energy / Mountain Dew car with National Guard on the quarter panels. It's the only green and white car he's ever drove in his career, other than when he inverted it and was green and black, and Mountain Dew was on the hood.
Rain Man.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicholas,
What?
real quick, I got to hear it, man. I got to hear you call the shot. We got to get start moving on. Call your shot, man. How you going to do this weekend or next week?
I say I'll probably get an easy top 10 or a win.
That's it. I wanted to hear the win. And tell me what does Adam Wood get?
I say he gets a top 10.
I like
My
it.
feet bring up the
I
He's
say
going to be in
Adam.
second because he's
I say
following
Adam's
Nicholas.
probably going to.
That's what I.
wreck.
Pushing him.
That's what I was looking for. I was waiting for Nicholas to say, "Oh, Adam's gonna be pushing me to the win." You know,
He's probably like
teammates.
Adam who. I don't know where that guy finishes. I've never seen him.
Adam who? Adam Woo.
Adam who? Adam Woo. Hey, man, it was an absolute blast, man. We appreciate you having to coming on. We're definitely gonna have to have you back.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, you have a good night.
Man,
You fellas.
why is it they don't have the flip off bird in Facebook actual I want to flip off Joe right now.
Oh,
I
just
just
seen
want to flip
that.
people off in iRacing. That's all I want.
Dead last wood.
So we're talking about NASCAR races we've been to. I just wanted to show probably my greatest accomplishment. This is a pass for 2012.
Oh, we're doing this? Oh, man.
2012 Darlington Southern 500, and I actually had I had a media pass for it, so I was able to go everywhere, which was really cool. That's really the crowning achievement of my entire life.
Yeah.
And, my wife
Was
heard
that
she was
Regan
really
Smith?
disappointed.
Or was that the year before?
Regan Smith was 2011. 2012 was Jimmy Johnson. It was his. It was the big milestone win where he.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Wasn't it? He tied. He tied. No, he didn't tie.
It was an even number.
Rain
200
Man.
Win. No, not 200. Sorry, 100th win. Maybe no, he didn't do 100.
Oh no, it was
It was Hendrick.
It was HMS 200th win, yeah. Because
Yep.
the week before, like they had struggled. They had got 199 earlier in the season, and then they struggled like garbage. I remember that. I remember that. That was we thought Gordon was going to get it at Charlotte, and then he ended up blowing a tile.
Yep.
I remember that. I remember that.
I-
Yes, Larry. Rain Man. Yes.
I want to point out that my biggest life accomplishment literally just happened while this podcast was going on. Literally, I got
Did you become a man?
well, sort of. I don't know. I got a request follow on Instagram. I made my stuff private, and I got a request follow. And right now, for my new favorite wide receiver in the NFL, Mr. T. Higgins decided to follow me. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
That's not the official account. That was cool.
Oh, it is his official account, buddy.
I think the crowning jewel for me
Stick
is
it,
because
nerd.
of my wife. My wife's in the American Military Spouses Choir, and they got chosen to go sing pre-race activities at Charlotte for the Coke 600. And I got to go there, and I got to stand behind the stage while they're doing it, and that's when all the driver intros came up. So all the drivers came by. I did it 2 years straight, and second year I bought a T-shirt, so they all started signing my T-shirt while I was back there. It was awesome. We had like an RV in the infield. We had our own like coach guy to take us from everywhere. He picked us up at the hotel, drove us around, got a VIP access to the booth that we were in, or we were in the glass case. The little thing wasn't really a booth. And then when we wanted to leave, we called him up. Hey, we want to leave. He met us downstairs. We got a VIP exit out. It was awesome.
Well,
That's
the year that I was at Darlington, I'm sure you guys have seen Victory Lane. Those places are really tiny little kind of
I've stood in it.
areas. I stood in it too. It was awesome. It was so damn cool.
Thanks to our
It's the only time Carl
AOLL
will
guy,
be in Victory
Ed
Lane.
Springer. He gave me and Johnny and his family a VIP tour through. We got to meet the track president. It was awesome.
So I know nobody likes New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I know everybody
No,
thinks
nobody.
it's a terrible racetrack, but as
Joe
everybody
does.
should
Joe
know, with what my sponsor on Thursdays with Waste Management, I work for them. The last 2 or 3 years, I've been able to go to New Hampshire as a worker with the company, but I'm not a driver, so I don't have to do any of the driver stuff. I kind of do the route managery thing. And I was able to go behind the wall last year. I was standing behind Alex Bowman's pit for 85% of the race. And the year before, I was able to go into Victory Lane after the race with the winner, and I was in some pictures with the winners, which is pretty cool. I have those somewhere. I'll show them when I find them.
That actually is pretty cool, but I want to tell you, man, the greatest thing that Waste Management does is they sponsor the golf tournament out there in Arizona. And if you've
The Phoenix Open is the best thing ever.
if you've never seen highlights of that, it's more of a party than a golf tournament. It's literally Happy
it's
Gilmore
not a golf
meets
tournament at
golf,
all.
and it's
Yeah.
hilarious. But hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a moment to hear from our sponsor, and then when we come back, we're going to bring in Cody Leland.
Oh, a pause for the cause.
For 20 years, the Guitar Attic has been your home for used and vintage guitars in the Daytona Beach area and at GuitarAttic.com. The Guitar Attic is your home for used and vintage guitars. Whether you're looking for that collector's piece or that beginner piece, they've got you covered. With names like Fender, Gibson, Gretsch, Ibanez, Martin, Taylor, and much, much more, the Guitar Attic has all the guitars you need. And bass players, they haven't forgot about you. They've got all the top names. Amplifiers from Friedman, Victoria, Fender, Boss, and many, many more. They also have the largest selection of used pedals anywhere in the Southeast. The Guitar Attic, located at 1672 and a half Ridgewood Avenue, just north of Flomish in Holly Hill, Florida. Also, check us out online at guitaraddict.com.
Croissant.
So since
And
Carl
we're
decided
back.
to throw out the whole coffee, I'm going to throw this out there, and no one can argue with me. Tim Hortons has the best coffee.
Oh.
I'm sorry, we're not in Canada.
You know what?
We actually enjoy coffee
Tim
down
might
here.
agree with you.
You know what's the best
Tim
coffee?
Hortons is all right.
No, well, Tim
but
Hortons
it's not
is delicious.
Dunkin'
Maybe
Donuts.
the Burgess brothers and Tim agree with you.
Tim Hortons is solid.
Dunkin'
It's
Donuts.
no, it's better than Dunkin' Donuts, but I'd much rather just grind my own coffee bean, make my own coffee here at the house.
Okay, we're getting
What
off
a
on a
hipster.
tangent here.
We
about
are.
dumb
We
shit.
are.
Let's go ahead
Hey,
and start
so
talking
all right,
TNT.
so we're heading into TNT. Super excited about this one. We're gonna bring in Cody Leland just a second, but super excited about this one. The race was fantastic this week, amazing.
I'm upset. I'm
well,
upset at myself.
You're always upset.
No, I'm upset at myself. I tried to play some strategy in that race and pit on that first long green flag run. And then the second I hit the pits, as I'm coming out, oh, here comes the caution because we can't hold it under brand new tires. It's like, son of a
Are you
bitch.
talking about yourself?
No, I was
Not
able
this
to
time.
pit-
Not this time.
No, we got like 3 laps under green. Somebody else pitted, and I was like, "Oh, this strategy's gonna work perfect. I'm gonna get my top 5 like I should. I'm fast. I got it." And then here comes the caution. I get trapped 3 laps out, and I never recovered because we didn't have enough cautions last night.
Well, the beautiful
that's a good
thing
thing
is
for
with
most
this
people.
one, we get to talk a lot of strategy because there was some strategy that played out that really affected the standings, not only the standings but the finish. So, without further ado, guys, let's bring in Mr. Cody Leland. Cody, man, how are you doing tonight?
What's going on, guys?
You mean to tell me? There we go. I was wondering if I was going to get to see that beautiful face. I have
hey.
not seen that beautiful face in a long
And
time,
with
man.
a roll cage behind
Here it
you.
is in
Well-
all of its glory.
So, hey, Cody, man, welcome to the podcast. First off, let's get a little introduction. Give us a little bit about you, your background, number, series, all that happy
the
jazz.
fuck is that?
We'll talk about that in a second, Nick. Chill out.
That's amazing. Holy
Yeah, number
shit.
75 TNT ARCA car right now, running American Regardless, Dan Sonic Embroidery, 5150 Skate Shop, and Carolina Fishing Tackle as our sponsors this year or this season.
Very nice, very nice. And you actually have racing experience, as we see behind you, obviously.
Yeah, I do. I started out in go-karts, then ran street stocks for a few years. Joined the Army, and then I did the Legends car thing for a season while I was stationed out at Fort Bragg. So,
Did you do it at the
driven-
Rockfish Speedway?
what's that?
You do it at the Rockfish Speedway?
No, I didn't do any dirt. I went out to Caraway Speedway in Asheboro. I got a buddy that runs out at Rockfish. He's actually a chief warrant officer out there.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know first off, Nick about had a freaking coronary, man, when he seen it, and
That's amazing. I want one.
Joe Dinsmore right away in the comments, he threw about like 6 comments, and he said, "Wait, what's behind you?" All caps. Love it. I see it. No spoilers. So why don't you? I keep trying to tell these guys. I've told them, I was like, he sent me pictures of his setup, man. It's the coolest thing ever, man. Tell them about your setup real quick.
Yeah, man, it's just the old Legends car chassis I cut up and put 3 monitors on the front of it. Got a Fanatec wheel on it, pedals, shifter, PC sitting at the back of it. I actually have my very first seat that I ever had in a race car in this thing that I got. My dad bought from a buddy of his that used to work for Kerry Earnhardt. So one of Kerry Earnhardt's old seats. So I sold it to a buddy of mine years ago, and he was nice enough to sell it back to me, and now it's in a simulator.
That's awesome.
Denny Hamlin, when they started this whole like iRacing thing for NASCAR on NBC, spent like $10,000 on a simulator.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, with that being an actual chassis, is your whole setup probably rivaling what Denny has, or it's probably a little bit more expensive?
No, there's not that much in it. I got that chassis from that buddy that I was actually talking about that runs dirt out in Rockfish.
Okay.
He sold me that thing for $250, and it was still in the good enough condition where we could have built it back up and made it back into an actual race car, but money is just I'm tired of spending money on racing, and it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more easy. I don't have to be out here 3-4 nights a week working on the car to get it ready for the
break
weekend.
it, you hit reset.
Exactly, man.
I gotta
so
tell you,
easier.
that is the best setup that I have ever seen, and I've seen some damn nice setups, and that one right there, like being inside of an actual chassis.
Yeah,
and
it's
being able,
pretty sweet,
if you
man.
want to, like, buckle yourself up into a 3-point harness and put a VR headset on and be like, "Here I am, I'm in a race
Right.
car." That's sweet.
Yeah, I've had some friends come over. They're like, "Where's your helmet? Where's your harness?" Like, man, it's far enough. Like I can't go too crazy.
Nah, I'm gonna
Do you
need you
put
to
the
go
gloves
all
on?
out.
What's
Do you have
that?
the gloves on when you're in there?
Yeah, I do wear gloves. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to go all out. I'm gonna need you to put the
That's
fire suit
sick.
on, everything. Put a little heater behind you so you can really get that heat on you. Get a
I
nice
still
sweat
got
going.
all my driving gear sitting back.
Bam,
in the bag.
there you go.
I can
No,
do
all
it.
you
Man.
gotta do, Larry, is put that propane tank on. Just put a little fire in front of it. We'll see how hot it gets in there.
Yeah.
His ass will be on fire. Be like, "Hey, what's going on back here?"
Hey,
Man, there's a whole lot
the
going
old
on in
days.
this garage, man. It's crazy.
so that race, man. Let's talk about this last race. You guys had 3 cautions, which was remarkable. I mean, the week before that, there was what 10, 12 cautions, and then you guys
Yeah,
went down to
after-
3 cautions. Which
After
was
coming out of
awesome.
Charlotte, I didn't expect that at all, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And but you ran good. I take that back. You ran phenomenal. Remind me again, where'd you start at?
14th. Yeah, I
14th.
spun out during qualifying, and I said, all right, I'm just going to start in the back and ride this thing out and see what happens. Because I really thought that there was going to be a ton of cautions. And I started in the back, and that actually ended up killing me because I got hit probably like lap 4, lap 5, and then we went 70 laps of green, so I was just sitting back there with a hurt car.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so-
Insane.
So I just want to say that you said that nobody saw it coming. First of all, I picked the winner on last week's podcast, so I want that to be known. The winner.
Two of us have done that so far.
But second of all, I did say, and this is a phenomenon I've seen over and over in TNT. It seems like the harder the track is to drive, the cleaner everyone races, and I think that just comes
crazy.
down to it's people I think are more conservative. Like last
Yeah.
week, everyone was driving like an idiot because the track was a little bit easier and you can make crazier moves.
You go wide open almost
And
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean this week it was like, well, shit, if I try to pass someone, I might not wreck, so I'll just sit and wait. So we've seen it over and over again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool, man. I enjoyed it. I was a little worn out afterwards, but I enjoyed it.
Hey,
So I want to bring up pit strategy because
Let's take
something-
1 second real quick, Chris. Or you're not Chris.
Carl,
Nope.
I've
Damn.
been drinking. So,
the new Larry.
Cody, do me a favor. Ed Springer just said that he loves your shirt. Give us a shout out.
Yeah, man, this is actually my company, AmericanRegardless.com. You can get on there right now, order you one. I'll ship it out tomorrow.
I want to point out, thank you for doing that because I was literally just about to do that.
I could tell by your face.
Yeah, and I
And
also
we'll get together after this too, and we can set up
You
some
can
sort of
do a
discount
poster.
code.
nice.
guys.
That'd be pretty sweet. And I also want to point out real quick, this is a little off topic. Nick's not here, so I don't think he's gonna go on a tangent. I didn't know Nick had hair. Did anybody notice when he looked down there was a little bit of? All right, sorry. Hey, Carl, go ahead with your question.
Yeah. So I want to talk pit strategies. I actually have a few things I want to say about it as well. But I know you were directly involved in the pit strategy at the end of the race, Cody.
Yeah.
And there were some comments about at the end of the race, should people have pitted? Should people have not pitted? Josh and I are 2 people that chose not to pit. You were one person that chose to pit. Just wanted to get your thought process on why you pitted there. And I mean, obviously it worked out for you, but did you go into it knowing that it was going to work out for you? Were you hoping more people would pit or something like that?
No, not at all. I knew that the car was better on fresh tires. I knew it was the only shot that I had. I started falling back. Josh got back around me there before the last caution, and I just started falling. So I knew that it was the only shot that I had. I was very surprised that nobody else went. Had I been leading that race, I wouldn't have gone. But past that, second on back, I'd have gone. I looked down and I saw there were 5 people on the lead lap. So, yeah, there was no question in my mind I was going.
My
That's
thing with
where I
that
go.
was actually that we saw after the first pit stop, we saw Sean Carmody go around.
Yep.
So I was actually, we didn't have enough laps, even though we'll get to this, but did have some hard running there after the first run. But I didn't really think that they had been worn that much, but you proved us wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, also I think it was part of it was that Cody was, at least for me, Cody was faster than me, even on the same stunt tires. But my logic, because there was a lot. I mean, like I was the last person on the lead lap. I probably, I considered pitting, and I decided that because I know that Johnny Downey was talking about it on the chat, like
he was yelling at you guys in the chat.
Here was my thought process behind it. If nobody in front of me had pitted, I would have pitted. But the way I looked at it, I saw that Sean Carmody had an incident. He ended up having an incident after this pit stop as well, which is exactly what I was afraid of. We had so few cautions. I was freaking petrified that I was going to go out there on fresh tires, overdrive it, and then end up causing a damn another caution. And I wasn't going to do that. So I knew that if I would gain 2 spots right there, either Cody or Sean were probably going to take a spot back from me. I might be able to hold off one of them. And that's what happened. I ended up gaining a position out of all that. So I'm happy with the decision I made in the end.
I mean, it's hit or miss, though, because, there was only 5 of you guys. There was 6 when Blake Ziti got the wave round, but he's starting at the back of the pack. Right. So he's not really in the threat right there. So if you pit or you didn't pit, there's only 5 spots to be gained or lost within that time frame. So, 2 people took the gamble. One person it worked for them. The other person, they had your fear. They went and, spun coming off of turn 4.
And that was one of the things that we were kind of debating. I'm not going to lie. Josh, I'm gonna dog you for a little day, man. I would have went and got tires. You had just lost the position to Cody, and then Cody dipped in the pits. I would have followed because no matter what, at the end of the day, if Cody goes, at least you're both on fresh tires, so you guys are kind of.
He was in front of me.
I took the position from Cody.
Oh, okay. But Cody was faster, and at the end of the day, your leader, Hayes. You guys weren't catching him unless you were on fresh tires, and they warmed up. The fresh tires were definitely faster. But like you said, it worked out for one, didn't work out for the other. So you were always gambling.
I think unless every single one of us pitted, I don't think anybody was going to catch Sean because Cody got close, but he had to go through so many of us. Like if all of us had agreed, like, hey, we're going to all come pit, and this dude's screwed. Honestly, kind of what happened to Blake in the Cup race, but I think if that had happened, we would possibly been able to keep.
I think that strategy worked out a little bit more if there was more laps on left in the race.
And that's why I put up no fight Cody when you came around, because I was just like, you know what, he got up here so quickly. I was just like, you know what, the only chance I have is you catching him and you 2 fighting
and wrecking each other.
Not necessarily that, but I'll admit it's
I never even gave Cody a fight because I never even saw him. Like it was just suddenly like the restart happened. I was like, oh shit, Cody's in front of me now. But all right.
I don't know what happened. I think it was St. Jean down there. I don't know if he spun or what he did, but he was just, as soon as we took off, man, he did not go as fast as we did behind him. So I had to dip below him. Adam, I think you said that the same thing last night. If I'd had more laps, man, I don't know that I could have caught Sean. I don't know that there was enough difference in those tires for me to get.
You were taking them off. You were taking about 2 to 3 tenths off of them when you finally got past Josh. You were battling with Josh. That gave him that extra space. But once you made that really good move around turn 2 where you just powered to the outside and blew Josh away on those fresh tires, you started to catch him about 2 tenths of a lap at that point. I think if you had another 5-6 laps, you wouldn't have been knocking on his door. Try to get around them, another question.
Right. Yeah. Catching them and passing them.
And I know we talked about this. Well, maybe we didn't. I'm sure we did. Where you guys headed next week?
Iowa.
You tried it? Have you guys tried it at all? Any of the TNT drivers? Anybody practice?
I have never once been on Iowa in anything.
I'm picking Nick to win.
Hey, Cody,
I haven't gotten in the ARCA car yet for Iowa. I'll probably do that at some point this weekend. I know I probably haven't driven Iowa in well over a year, but I used to be really good there. So We'll see what happens.
Well, I'm hoping that what's going to happen is we're gonna blow up your brand here going through us, and then that way you're going to be working all the time making T-shirts and hats, so you're not going to be able to practice, and you're going to suffer because of that. No offense, we're buddies and all, but you know,
whatever. I got my track circled on the schedule, man. I know where my strength's going to be. So
which one is that?
We're waiting on that.
He's not going to show his hand.
New Smyrna, man. I'm calling New Smyrna.
Oh God, no! I'm not
even calling that.
Yeah,
I'm not even
New Smyrna. New Smyrna is that's just my bread and butter there. USA, I'm pretty good at, but I'm excited for New Smyrna.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at USA as well. I feel good about USA, but I think
in ARCA though.
Yeah, I've run there in ARCA as well, and something about the track. I don't know. I think it's just a combination of just. So I tend to like tracks that have symmetrical turns, like Richmond last night. You had to treat turns 3 and 4 completely different than 1 and 2, and I am not fond of that because I can't stay focused enough. I'm like in the middle of the turn, I'm like, shit, is this 3 and 4 or is this 1 and 2? I don't remember. And my graphics are so low. Like I've got to run VR, but I'm like on potato setting, so I can't see the stands or anything. It's just like empty sky. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. So.
Oh man. So let's see. We have that going on. Last night though, it was actually a good battle. Like you got messed up once early in the beginning, but we've had a lot of green flag laps. We were able to go through the whole entire field as broadcasters and show off almost everybody individually. There was great battles in the mid pack. There was great battles in the rear of the pack. John Gordon moved up, I think, 9 spots from the beginning. You moved up about 9-10 spots as well. Timothy St. Jean, he had a phenomenal race as well. Up until the end, he was one of the few that could stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, I've noticed that about Tim. He doesn't qualify well, but damn, does he race well.
And that's the big thing with him is it was kind of my entire strategy last night that ultimately got screwed is long runs, fantastic. You want me to go for all out speed? You can look at my practice times. When I'm up at like towards the top of the list, it's because I threw out one miracle lap.
Well, and Josh is the same with me. I mean, you've even commented on it before. Like, I tend to, I'm slow as hell, but I tend to run pretty conservative laps and save my tires. I mean, when we were at the end of that long run, I didn't like my car. Like I know Nick had to pit because he felt like his car was out of control. My car felt relatively fine. I'd gotten pretty tight. It was wanting to run into the wall a little bit, but it was fine. And I was really starting to think, I was like, man, if this could stay green just a little bit longer, I mean, I was a lap down at that point, but I was like, I might be able to fight for more positions, not first, but
Yeah, I think I was just complaining to complain last night because when I pitted, I saw that my right front was literally at 84% still. I was like, wow, I'm just complaining to complain. I think I just overheated it. I didn't really wear it. I just overheated it, which was it's something I need to work on. But like last
1 and
night
2 really heats up your tires. If you don't let off too soon going across the start finish line, you get on the brakes, it'll heat it up quick.
Yeah, but to be competitive into 1 and 2, Josh taught me something last night. I'm not going to give away a secret, but he taught me where to brake, and it was definitely a total because I was running probably somewhere around Carl's lap times in practice, like 0.2 off of where Josh was, and then he gave me that little helpful hint, and all of a sudden I was running 27.6s instead of 27.7s.
And you got
22
for a short while.
Well, no, hey, I could do it. I just need to stop hitting the damn wall.
We're all eagerly awaiting that.
When I don't hit the damn wall, I think I'll actually be able to compete for a win. Just need to not hit the damn wall when I'm by myself.
And again, we're waiting.
It was 2 stupid mistakes.
Hey, Nick. I think you said
Please
that to finish first.
You first must finish.
Yes.
But that was in response to people being extra over-aggressive for no reason early on.
We'll come back to that when we talk about the truck series.
Yeah.
But if you're not first, you're last.
I mean,
I hate that saying.
I'm kidding.
I hate that
I'm
saying
kidding.
so much
That
because
was high on peyote right then.
that saying paints NASCAR and like stock car racing in general in such a terrible light because it's if I'm not first, I'm going to wreck everybody else to get there.
Hey, Ricky, can I win once?
To be fair, Nick, that's kind of what's happened to you. If you haven't been first, which you haven't been, you've been like last. So,
hey, hold on, wait. Last
one,
week at Charlotte, I had a top 10 car, and I got screwed by people who didn't know how to go through the tri-oval the right way. And then last night, I got screwed by strategy because of the caution that shouldn't have come out. It should have come out, but it shouldn't have come out at that point for my strategy.
So I'm just going to ask this, Nick. Did you not listen to me and Carl during practice when we said that it's not tire wear, it's heat?
And
I did, but I knew that if I pitted, I knew I would start. I would have that probably 2 or 3 lap advantage where I'd be able to maybe jump somebody, and I knew I would start. I would start that pit cycle.
And I also said, I want to point out, I also said that there is no scenario anyone should pit here under green flag because you would go too many laps down. And
but then
how many laps?
And then a caution would come out, and you'd be screwed.
And then on the same end, though, we had the conversation during the race where I was like, I think I'm going to pit because I think I can undercut the 2 people in front of me and easily get past them. And then Josh, shut up, Josh, you're a liar. You sat there and went, I think I'm going to do the same thing. I think I can get past Sean if I do that.
Maybe I was trying to throw you off.
So there was a point in that race I started seeing a bunch of you guys pit. And I contemplated it there for a couple laps, and I'm like, there's no way that's gonna work.
I mean,
that's gonna work.
If no caution would have come out,
if no caution would have come out, my strategy would have worked perfectly.
Would it have? Because I was planning, if there was no caution, you were not going to see me in the pits at any time that night.
Hey, Josh.
And that's what I figured. I didn't think there would be at least a few of you guys that wouldn't stop.
Yeah, because
I tried. Okay. I tried. I knew I wasn't going to get the top 5 finish because of what I had done earlier in the race, being an idiot and hitting the wall twice. That I, thought that I had the speed to get without throwing everything at the wall. So and with the damage I had to throw it at the wall. And had I known that 3 laps later there was going to be a caution, I definitely would have stayed out and just dealt with the issues and got my lap back and then pitted. But
all right, well, I've got
revisionist history.
I've got a question. I've got a question for Cody. I got a question for Josh, and I've got a question for Nick. Basically, the other guys.
Carl!
Man,
that was Carl!
If you're asking Nick a question, we're going to be here for another 10 minutes.
Hold on. So,
thanks,
the
Ross.
question is, you look at last week. Sean Hayes was probably one of the best cars on the track, and got caught up in some crap, and then somebody here moved him out of the way and messed up his night, although he had burned through his tires at that point. So I'm curious, and obviously he was dominant last night. Starting with you, Cody, how do we beat this guy? How is anyone going to start getting wins against Sean Hayes?
I say either you or Josh wipe them out, and I'll.
I got a better idea. Okay,
that is not.
I will qualify 5th. I will qualify 5th, and then whoever starts 4th just forgets to hit the brakes going into turn 1. 3rd forgets to hit the brakes going into turn 1. Takes out all 4 of you. And I'll just cruise on by. I like that idea better.
Nick, that requires you to be in 5th.
Fantastic teammate right there.
He pitted.
Josh, honestly, Josh.
No, I think it's gonna take really good strategy, or it's gonna just take a lot of practice, because he was in a league of his own last night, man. We couldn't catch him.
Hey, I want to point out,
you weren't around for last year. He only ran a few races in the TNT last year, but he did the exact same thing at Richmond last year.
Yeah,
but we were running street stocks, and he's a short track guy.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
one of those tracks he's really good at.
I agree. He's a short track guy. He's good at every track. And honestly, last night was the first time in the TNT series this year that I felt like it was kind of hopeless. Like, it was like there's zero chance of winning this race. And I'll admit, it was frustrating as hell. So I'm gonna be hitting the track pretty hard this week. I've already ran some laps at Iowa. I'm gonna probably run some more. Probably not tonight because I've been drinking.
But how's that different than when you run normal?
I was going to say, how's that different than Tuesday night?
Hey,
that's a good point.
I just want to point out, Cody,
Hey,
every time your kid looks into your camera, he's looking like he's looking at Nick and thinking, this fucking idiot. Like he can just hear him.
What do you think of this guy down here?
Damn.
You hurt his feelings, son. Completely gone.
Oh man, that was funny.
Just so you know,
awesome.
Cody,
My
we treat him
official
like the little
resignation.
brother of the
It's
league.
my
That was-
official resignation
That
from Ghost Fire Mania.
Well, you can't do that, man. You can't do that yet.
What was that, Josh?
He's the little brother of the league.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm always getting bullied.
Hey, I gotta say, man, Mr. John Donald just commented, said Cody failed to mention you worked for a NASCAR team in the Truck Series.
Yeah, I did for I don't know, about half a season or so.
Okay.
And then I
When
I
was-
quit that and joined the Army.
Okay.
There's more politics in that than the military, man.
There's no way.
Oh, dude, 100%, 100%. Would never go back.
Would have never known.
I worked for TRG Motorsports with Donnie Leah and Andy Lally. We won Mansfield in 2008 with Donnie Leah.
What'd you do there?
I was the tire guy. I went on the road with him and helped match and set up the tires and stuff.
Oh, that's
Get 'em
pretty
ready.
awesome, man. That's pretty awesome.
So there's a lot of politics in the world of NASCAR.
Oh, dude, it's unbelievable.
Would have never thought.
Then you joined the military, and somehow we've all, me, Larry, and Cody, walked the same circle and know the same people. So it's kind of crazy. And
Yeah.
then now I'm like 45 minutes from the guy, so we're gonna have to meet up. We're now teammates on First Response Racing, so definitely gonna have to
Trash!
You know how big this
Guys.
world
Wow,
is?
man.
Like, what's crazy
Jealous
is how
of it.
big this world is, but how
Mhm.
tiny it actually is.
Oh,
It's
facts.
I mean,
crazy.
So
It's
the
crazy.
military is like less than 1% of the population, and after I think 8 years in the Army, I moved to Hawaii and found a dude that I went to AIT with, which is like my job training. So after 8 years, I would show up there. Actually, there was two guys there. There was two people from my AIT that were there, and that was just crazy. And then everywhere else I've went, and I mean, it's a small role for this guy to be in the same unit. I was probably there roughly at the same time as he was transitioning out of the military or away from it in 2018. But that's when I met Larry, and while he was there, he met some of the old guys I was when I first joined the Army in the 82nd. So it's just kind of a small world.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, this has been an absolute blast. Once again, where are we going? Where's TNT?
Iowa.
Iowa. That's right. Again,
Another
short-term memory.
Another intermediate, one that's actually probably going to throw some of the more rookie drivers off because it's.
So Nick and Carl.
I'm not what you'd call a rookie.
What? I mean, I'm technically
I am.
a rookie in the league, aren't I?
Yeah, technically.
What?
I'm more saying drivers in general, just because it's not a track that coming down all the way to the line is going to be the most advantageous.
Well, Blake
Right.
just said that Iowa is going to be during the day with some heat in the track, so expect it to be slick.
Oh, good. So it's going to be another Charlotte with 14 cautions and
Yeah,
5
that's what I was going to ask you
What?
guys. What's y'all's caution count?
Well, I don't
Prediction
know.
on this thing.
Yeah, we were going to go. I was going to go with winner, but that might be a better
We
one.
can do-
Caution
That's
count.
more
Yeah,
entertaining.
All right.
I think it's 80 laps.
Let's do both.
Let's end it with that. All right, we'll go around the horn. We'll start with Adam, and we'll give me a winner and give me a caution count.
Next week, winner, I think Sharon Commodi. I think he's going to come through. He's a good pick. Caution count. I'll go on the low side for it. I'm gonna go with 5.
Oh, okay.
That's low. I think 3 was exceptional.
Carl.
Yes, that's why I said it's on the low
Oh,
side.
it's my turn. Yeah, sorry. For the winner, I'm actually going to pick Cody Whelan. I think,
Hey, appreciate
I think this is kind of the, he's talked about, short tracks being really well for him. I think that this isn't a short track, but it's an intermediate for these types of cars. I think that this could work out well for him. And in terms of cautions, I'm going to go back to what I said about this week's race. I think that because it's going to be slick, because it might be a little difficult, people are going to drive more conservative. I'm going with 2 cautions.
Wow.
Optimistic, man.
2.
I'm optimistic.
Optimistic is being optimistic is one thing, but being flat out insane is another.
Nick will have 2 cautions alone in the freaking first.
Hey,
like, 10
Larry,
laps.
shut the fuck up.
Hey! He can't bring out a caution if he's in the pit.
He can,
I'm gonna leave
he can
again.
spin coming out.
The love. Hey, man.
I'm gonna leave again. You guys are fucking mean.
And this is how I treat my teammates.
all the
That's the
time.
best kind of teammate.
What you got for me, Cody?
Bitch.
So, I would love to pick myself, but I'm not going to do that. If Sean's there, I think Sean will be tough, but I think I'm going to go with Josh. And then I'm going to go 7 cautions, I think.
I think that's
Nick?
a good call.
Do it. Go for yourself. Say yourself. Call
No,
your
I'm not
shot,
gonna
man.
go.
Call your shot.
I've
He's gonna have
Never
more
raced
turn for it. Wall love.
I've never raced at Iowa, so I'm not even gonna. I think I'm gonna get a top 10. To be honest, it's probably gonna be an ugly race. I'm probably gonna go with Josh.
Damn it! Stop putting pressure on me, guys.
That's the plan.
Well, I mean, it's not. I want to pick Carl, but Carl just hasn't. I want to pick Carl, but it just seems like with these new cars, Carl is being just a little bit more conservative.
It's also a lack of talent.
Well, no, I don't.
He
there's
does
definitely
come
not a
to
lack of
work.
talent. There's definitely not a lack of talent in that car, Carl. So I don't want to ever hear you say that again. That's a lie.
That's funny.
I would say you, but I feel like you're being more conservative because you don't want to destroy your incident points that you're going for the entire the entire year just because you want to win a couple of races. So Josh seems to be the guy who's not going to be conservative, but he's also not going to be stupid. So I feel like it's probably going to be Josh. We're probably going to have a late pass for the win again. And I'll say, with what I saw last night, I was shocked. So I'm probably going to 3 cautions.
All right. Well, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I'm not gonna say fear the beard. All right. If it was gonna be fear the beard, that'd be Carl. Say fear the hairline. I'm gonna go with our teammate Chris Oliver. I think he's due one, and I definitely have to take him because, no offense, guys, he's got the best fan in the league. Not fans, fan. All right, I don't care who you are, best fan in the league.
She's
which
joining the broadcast.
we
now,
are hoping to get her on the podcast one night. But I'm gonna
Did
go.
she join the broadcast?
You didn't hear it last night?
Is that the one
No.
always yelling the mama boy?
Yes,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
The
She's
Hot
on that.
Carl.
Yep.
Okay.
But that's how we found out about Hot Carl's nickname.
Okay.
I did not know she joined the broadcast last night.
turn it up.
She didn't.
Now I want she did, and I want to point out that I was going to go low, but everybody went low. I was like, I'm going to be different. Everybody's going to be a pessimist here. I'm going to be an optimist, but since y'all are being optimists, I'm going to be a pessimist. So I'm going to say 16 cautions.
Whoa, man.
What the fuck?
We're going to get
little
like 7
excessive.
green flag laps.
You went
happens.
from one extreme of no
It
cautions to every damn lap being
No,
a
I was gonna go 2 cautions, but then I
What are we
went.
gonna do? Eye
If that happens, I change my pick to whoever starts on the pole.
Well, I mean,
We're just going to ride around.
if we have a Larry type of night, I guess I gotta go practice my qualifying laps.
Yeah.
Calling it now. Blake said that if we have 16 cautions, he's becoming an alcoholic.
I'll be quite honest. I'm seriously shocked that after watching all these TNT races, he's not an alcoholic.
Poor Blake, man. I got to say, I really do appreciate what he does, though, because there's not a lot of people that would deal with some of the stuff that has gone on.
Hey, I'm just saying. Josh, give it to
we
me.
have nothing but respect for him.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna keep calling it until it happens. We saw it at Charlotte. He was fantastically fast. He was fighting all night once he got up to the front. I'm going with Tim.
I like it.
He's really showing his speed. He's really getting into the groove with iRacing. He's fighting. He's going to be up there, and I'm still thinking Tim is going to get his win.
Plus, he's a really nice guy.
He is a nice guy. And
he's Canadian and throws out the boots.
Dude.
And I love it anytime he does that in the chat.
One of my favorite people ever. I swear to God, I'm going to end up going and having a drink with that man one day. How many cautions?
I'm looking at it. We've got 80 laps. I'm going to go with 6.
All right. Randy, let's hear it.
I'm going with Tim, too. I think Tim's going to be the guy to beat this time. I'm going to go with... I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 6 cautions.
All right.
That's kind of in the middle of the pack.
Well, I mean, we had 8. So
I went double. Come on. Don't mind the little.
What did you go with, like 16?
Don't mind the little mascot that's just like sneaking around me. She's just trying to see everybody.
I was going to say Cody's got his there too. We're just waiting for him to get on the chats in the races and start cheering him on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, he's already getting some practice inside this thing. So
I'd been
he's the next generation.
I'd been waiting for Cody's wife to freaking come chime into the freaking session and say, Cody, you better freaking win tonight or you're sleeping on the couch.
No, man, she's at work. She ain't here.
No, I was talking about the races.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, man, she would just rather burn it. I think. Be done with
burn
it.
What?
the whole thing. Yeah. No, she's good. She helps out quite a bit,
Awesome,
making sure the
man.
kids don't come in here and mess with me. So
Nice. Well, man, it was a blast having you here tonight, man, and we're gonna have to bring you back. All right.
yeah, absolutely, anytime.
Give another love to that shirt
earlier. I'm sorry.
Yeah, AmericanRegardless.com. We'll get with you guys and we'll set up some sort of discount code.
Hey, that's cool.
Sounds awesome.
Love it. All right, man. Have a good one. All right. Well,
I like him more every time I hear him talk.
are you
Are
you getting gaining a crush on him?
Is that his
No,
man
shut
crush?
Yeah, it's man crush.
No, I was
Wednesday.
being nice to
Hey,
somebody.
I
Nick.
was gonna say I love having
Rare.
that on
No,
track.
I don't want to hear it, Larry. If you're gonna make fun of me more, I don't want to hear it. If you kiss my ass, don't talk to me.
Okay, well, hold on. My hair's been insulted in the chat like right away going into this thing, so I have to ask.
What, your
you a question.
ridiculous hairdo?
Yo, man, where'd you get that hair at? Where'd you get that hair?
Yeah,
Oh,
what
hey,
did you do?
where
Did
did that voice come from?
Yo, man,
Did you get a perm? Did you go see the friggin' people at the beauty shop?
Nah,
and get a
buddy.
perm before the race?
That is literally right there. That is all natural, but it'll all be cut off because I go back to work on Monday, so I'll have to shave and I'll have to cut off the hair. But I have a serious question. I made a joke when you took off earlier, and I got to know, man. I didn't know you had hair. Is that a man bun back there?
No, there's no hair. Trust me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on, let me fix my headset. Hold on.
Hey,
There, I
He's
have
just too young to have it be proper shave worthy.
listen. If you just put some gel in that, you look like Chris Oliver.
Oh, man, that's cold.
Megan, I love you.
Oh,
Hey,
He's not here anymore.
First off, you can't make fun of my
Your what?
receding hairline.
50-year-old hairline.
Hey, I want to point out real
Hey,
quick.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna
years
get
old?
pro like Adam Wood and make sure I have hair for the rest
All right,
of my
hold
life.
on.
Nick,
All
you
right,
may
Cody.
want to go.
This is
back
getting
to
good.
first
This is getting good.
response.
Hold up. I know where you're
Cody.
going with this, but you got to read the first 2 comments. Before that, you got to read Ed's comments.
Yeah. So Ed pointed out that Nick's got a man crush. And then Cody just said, "Y'all stop being mean to Nick."
This is getting really cute.
Cody, you're not helping me. You're not helping me, Cody.
Hey,
Listen.
He's the true youth of this league. He's going to be treated like the little brother.
There's younger people in this league than me.
probably not.
I don't think so.
But hey, we're
Joe
gonna take a
Carter's
quick
not here
break. Hey, we're gonna take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna bring Ross in, and we're gonna talk trucks and cup.
I need beer.
For 20 years, the Guitar Attic has been your home for used and vintage guitars in the Daytona Beach area and at GuitarAddict.com. The Guitar Attic is your home for used and vintage guitars. Whether you're looking for that collector's piece or that beginner piece, they've got you covered. With names like Fender, Gibson, Gretsch, Ibanez, Martin, Taylor, and much, much more, the Guitar Attic has all the guitars you need. And bass players, they haven't forgot about you. They've got all the top names. Amplifiers from Friedman, Victoria, Fender, Boss, and many, many more. They also have the largest selection of used pedals anywhere in the Southeast. The Guitar Attic, located at 1672.5 Ridgewood Avenue, just north of Flomish in Holly Hill, Florida. Also, check us out online at GuitarAddict.com.
We are back.
Adam, are you alive up there?
I think Adam just died.
Well, all right. So that actually works out perfect as we bring in our next guest. That's the one thing we have to worry about while he's sitting here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in Mr. Ross Gage.
Did you just say we have to worry about Ross dying while he's sitting here?
Well, as here, if you get...
Is that what you just said? You just said that's something we have to worry about while he's
Hey, I need the clap intro. I need...
What did I come in on?
Wait, well, all right, so...
Your mic's a little low.
Adam said that he was, Randy asked Adam if he was alive over there. And he was kind of sitting back in his chair with his mouth sort of open. And it made me think of your picture I screenshot of you when you were streaming of you sitting there with your mouth kind of open. I said, is Ross alive?
I gotta breathe, man. I gotta breathe. By the way, I would like to point out, I don't have a really cool simulator in the background, but is that a fucking cool vacuum cleaner?
I was checking out the fan.
Wait.
That thing sucks.
I need to. Where did you buy that vacuum from? Because I need that vacuum just as much as I need that simulator. I need that vacuum.
I got that at Walmart, sir, where the rest of the white trash shop.
In Brooksville, by the way, if you
Well,
understand that,
hey,
Brooksville.
This
Right
is
down
to that
Highway
Walmart
50.
sponsorship. This is to that Walmart sponsorship that we were hoping for. It's now dead.
I would like to say, oh, hey, where did Discord go?
Hey, where the
There
hell
it
did
is.
Discord go?
Okay.
What the hell?
Hey, Larry, I went and got a haircut for this. You could have at least done your hair.
Is he lagging with everybody else? Who just
No, he's definitely got a little latency there. But I'll tell you what, we brought Ross in because we knew this dude would be a freaking kick and a half tonight. So this should be a fun one.
What do you want to know? Because it's pudding time here at the home.
Look, I can't even make fun of him. He's making fun of himself. He's taking all my jokes.
I didn't know. First off, just kind of like with Tim, I thought that like everybody Randy Pepper knew was like, you know, younger than Randy. I didn't know Ross was like Ross. What? Like, how old are you?
I'm 63, sir.
No, you're still younger than Randy. Randy's 95.
No, he's older than me.
It's just the dyed hair that makes him seem that way.
I don't even know how old Randy is. But like I said a couple weeks ago, he looks like he's in his 40s. He's trying to be nice.
You guys want to know?
All right, so let's talk, Ross. First off, let's get your intro, man. Tell people a little bit about you, your number, and what you drive. What series?
Gosh, if you want to start? I got addicted to video games in 1975.
Did they have video games back then?
And we had Pong.
What with the two little controllers?
The little controller. The little.
Hey, Ross. So I'm guessing in 1975 you were pretty well versed in doing this.
You know what? I was actually married in 1975, so I didn't have to do that.
Hey, Blake said they had rocks.
I got into racing. I bought my first computer, I think it was in 1992, and I think in 93 I started racing, and I bought myself a little Thrustmaster T1 racing cockpit, you know, a little steering wheel with a shifter and two pedals, and a friend of mine came over and built a cockpit around it for me, and that's what I did, and I spent 10 cents a minute to play on Hawaii. and do long distance racing for long distance charges. And it's gone on from there. You know, it just joined leagues and met really nice people and went on. And then I took about a 5 or 6 year break from racing. I just couldn't bring myself to pay for iRacing. And then somebody talked me into it. I'm glad they did, because, you know, I've been here about 3 years now and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm having fun being back with the old guys from the league.
And the new guys.
You couldn't justify paying for iRacing, but you could justify paying 10 cents a minute for AOL.
It was less than that. I remember when it was actually, we were paying like almost like a quarter a minute. When it first started, it was like, I remember my first bill was like $400 and something. My wife went, "Oh no, this is not going to work."
So what you're telling me is that even though iRacing is kind of expensive to buy all the cars and tracks, after you invest it, it's actually cheaper.
Well, you know, I had played online for free for so many years. I just couldn't justify it to start paying for it, you know. But, you know, once I got to see what iRacing really had to offer, then it justified paying for it. And and of course I've been doing it ever since. And, you know, what a wonderful league we got. Now trucks, we ran Daytona the other night. We had a really good race.
Until I screwed you. And I'm sorry for that.
That's okay. I still love you.
Hey, I was about to say, yeah, you guys ran Daytona, and it was the first race we decided to broadcast. I sat, I hadn't been running the trucks anyway, so I sat out, did the broadcast
this season.
Yeah, this season. And I looked down, and I started looking at the teams again as I'm broadcasting. I like to try to gauge on who I'm going to bring, no pun intended, up in the booth. And I looked, and everybody from First Response Racing is gone except for Ross. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Oh, man, I'm stuck with Ross? I bring nobody into
Ross, you understand how we feel when we're stuck with Larry in the booth. It's like, oh, God, we're stuck with Larry tonight.
He is talkative, isn't he?
That's what me and Adam were saying the other night.
Talkative.
Oh, we're going to say that Larry's talkative. Having
Nick
who you
in the
should
feel
booth.
bad for? You should feel bad for Randy.
Yes.
I do feel bad for Randy. He's got to deal with you.
I have
Wait a
to deal
second.
with Nick and Larry, both of you guys.
When it comes to professionalism inside of a broadcast, the most professional broadcast we put on every week is the Tuesday night one.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's just because Randy is 50% of it as opposed to 33.
I'm racing on Tuesday nights. I'm in another league called Racing for Jesus, and it's all Christians, and it's really nice because they actually do a prayer and praise before they race, and people can put in prayers and praises that they want. We do a nice little prayer before we race, and it's a really nice league. It's not as old as AOLL. See, I could say AOLL because I'm not a nitwit.
Wait, who couldn't say the AOLL?
They stumble over it in the broadcasts every week. They stumble over AOL.
Adam.
It's okay. You know what, Randy? Every single week, Randy goes, "Welcome to the IRVL."
Oh, I do that. I do that. I do that.
You do, Randy. I don't call you out on it, but you say IRVL.
I did
all
the first
time.
week. I did the first week. Yes,
You still do it.
No, IVRL.
I haven't heard it, so
So,
didn't happen.
So Ross, I have to ask you something. I wasn't even planning on bringing up something from 2 weeks ago, but you're hilarious, and I have to ask this. So, 2 weeks ago, you were coming in the pit, and I was driving like an idiot on the apron, trying to figure out where the hell I was going, and I slammed into you. And I know you said some things on the radio, but I want to know what you were saying, either on your team radio or internally when that happened.
I just said I didn't know what he was up to. I don't know. I had no idea why you were there. I had no clue. All I knew is all of a sudden there was a car next to me and we were hitting each other.
I gotta.
He's like, this man just hit me. I don't know if he hit it intentionally, but he was irate in the team chat. He was like, I don't know what's wrong with this dude. He just came out of nowhere and hit me. I'm trying to enter the pit road. He just took me out.
Hey,
Don't worry, Carl does it under caution to everyone.
Yeah, Carl doesn't do it.
I'm not usually real animated. on the radio. I'm usually pretty quiet because I'm so slow. I have to concentrate really hard because I'm old.
So see, it works for you.
Oh my God!
You know, it's like at Martinsville. At Martinsville, I was so slow at practice, I didn't even bother to qualify. It was like, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to get in people's way. But you know, if you're consistent and hold that line and don't spin out, and I ended up with a 12th place finish, and I was pretty happy with that. Coming from the back,
you drive under someone's car as they flipped through the air?
Well, they slide up in the corners. They slide up in the corners, and you're able to get around them. But you know, attrition is my friend.
So I got to say, Ross threw out there that he is not very vocal on the radio because he's got to concentrate. I'm going to call bullshit on this one because Ross, he won't sit there and he's not going to talk your ear off as the race. Don't get me wrong, like myself, maybe Rick, when we were all in there, you know, Johnny'd be like, would you guys shut the hell up so I can concentrate? Ross really wouldn't say anything, but if there was something happen, Ross was the first one to be vocal, and it's always the funniest thing. This fucking idiot, the fuck is this dude?
I have a hard time sometimes keeping my mouth shut.
But see, the difference is like me, Larry, and a few other people. We have open mics where we just talk shit the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Whereas Ross, he gets mad because we don't have that. I think he's really mad at us a lot of these times that we don't have a button to press. They keep that internal filter back. And
you can ask Carl and Josh. I'm the same way.
We're well aware. That's why you get muted occasionally.
I haven't gotten a word in, I think, all season on Team Chat because Nick just keeps talking.
Hey, Blake said that.
People snack and slobber and spit on themselves while they're sitting there. You know, people have a tendency to make little sounds that they're not aware of, you know, and when they got activated on, you get to hear all that. I don't want to hear that. I'm racist.
Yo, hey, Blake said Ross's mic goes hot every time he gets car contact.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. You know what? I can't help it. When somebody does something stupid, I'm a crap magnet. If something bad's going to happen on the track, it's going to happen with me involved in it. No fault of my own, but it's going to happen with me in it, you know? And I have a tendency sometimes to not be smart, and I key up my mic and I say something when I think somebody's done something stupid.
Oh, trust me. I can...
Which we all do, you know, so I got no problem if somebody wants to key up their mic and tell me I did something stupid, feel free, because that's how we learn, right?
Ross is...
I will be the first to admit, Ross, I have one moment in our league
there it is
that has been I can attest to the fact that you will call people out for being stupid. During the first race of the GTE, I was passing you on the outside while you were a lap down. You pushed me off the track, and you just keyed up telling me that I was an idiot. And I'll admit, I've held that one as a little bit of a grudge since then.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I was thinking.
Hey, the only reason why he said that is because as he sit here and he listens to you talk, he's like, "Oh my god, I love this guy!" Like, and this dude be my grandpa. So he's like, "I gotta squash this grudge."
I don't actually hold a grudge, but no, it's just like now that you've explained it, I'm just like, okay, whatever.
No grudge against anybody. It's just I key up once in a while and say something I shouldn't, and I apologize for that.
But oh no, don't worry about it. It's been a long-running joke.
That's what I've been around for years. That's what we did online. We keyed up and we gave each other crap. You know, I mean, we didn't hold back, and now, you know, the league's a little different, and we need to hold back because it's about being friends first and racing second. You know, that's what it's about.
I'll be the first to say, my friends, and this is why I love my team, is we give each other shit the second we do something dumb.
Also, sometimes when we do something, don't do anything at all. We just give them shit.
I get shit all night long.
Oh, but you do pretty dumb stuff.
Wait. I don't do the dumbest stuff.
Larry was one I was talking about because he just doesn't even race anymore. So
I just want to point out though, like, you keep bringing yourself into our team. Are you? I count you as like a half member. Are you a half or are you a full?
No, I'm close circuit racing.
Yeah, so I actually asked. I asked Chris to do an announcement post today, and I don't think he said
apparently he forgot.
No, I think he's working. So Chris probably get to it.
That was on our Monday chat during team practice. That Nick was like, "Hey guys, can I please please I want to be a part of it. Can I be a part of your
I
team?"
didn't sit there and like beg. I just said, "Hey, I have no teammates. Ghostfire Motorsports is going to go nowhere because everybody who's part of Ghostfire Media is part of other teams." And
Because
I don't really
it's a
want
race team, and this is a broadcast team. There's two different things.
Hey, we're all one big family, but now
We're a family.
fuck First Response Racing.
Just jump ship, Larry.
Yes.
Yeah, if things keep going, I'll be the lone one left on the team. And Larry is the one that begged me to join the team, and I get on the team, and he leaves.
Hey, Randy, you can come to closed circuit. I think Carl will take you. We need somebody slower than Carl, anyway.
Oh.
Hold on, you shut your mouth.
Bring up the scoreboard.
No. Randy is not slower than I am. Randy has been faster than I've been in trucks recently, so...
Hey, Carl. You need some aloe vera for that burn.
Yeah, I kind of have to race Randy too. He's been a lot faster than me lately. It's got to be those new pedals.
That and a lot more practice, I think.
Hey, Blake said that you need to join CCR, Adam.
Blake only wants you to leave First Response Racing because Blake wants to have Endeavor be 3/4 of the league.
I mean, I'm just saying CCR could be 3/4 of the league.
That's true.
I mean, it could be if we just
Ross,
absorbed.
So after this last race, man, you jumped 2 points to 14th. You're having a solid season, man. How do you feel the season's going for you?
Well, again, I've got to just concentrate on being consistent. I'm not going to beat Blake Gurdon. I'm having a hard time even beating Randy. He's so fast lately. So I just got to concentrate on being consistent and let people make their mistakes. You know, use that attrition to gain spots, and then gain spots on guys that are going to wear their tires out a little quicker because I'm going to lay back a little bit. So that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to concentrate on being consistent. And I am getting old. I never was a big top runner. I mean, I'd win a race once in a great while, but usually I ran anywhere from about 6th to about 10th place. Now I'm finding I qualify way in the back, and if I can get up into the teens, I'm usually pretty lucky. So. But, it's those little races that we have on the way up there that are fun, and that's why I do it. I don't do it to win. If I did it to win, I'd be out by now.
Excellent, man. Excellent.
For what it's worth, me too. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I'm just here to have fun.
Well, that's why Carl's just joining the broadcast rather than running.
Basically, yeah. I can't run the fast vehicles. I need to be in the slow ones.
Well, hold on. You say that, Josh, but Carl's 2 spots ahead of you in points.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Okay,
yeah.
It helps that I don't finish.
They only let me because I'm one of the old folks.
Oh,
So
man.
let's talk about this past Wednesday. We've talked about everything else. We've been beating around the bush. Let's talk about Daytona in Sportsman. I know I don't have anything good to say.
I have
Randy
nothing.
really doesn't.
No.
Well, Ross actually, he did say something about it.
I did pretty solid. I was as close as second there for just a short period of time. Average, I was running about 7th. Because I wasn't willing to take the chance to jump in and out. Blake's younger, has got much quicker reflexes. He was really, moving those lines and taking those spots and doing it really smart. I just didn't have enough nerve to get out there and do that. I didn't want to be the one that they went, "Oh, Ross, you caused the big one."
Which Blake did.
And then Josh had a little bit of a problem there. And
I blame Nick on that one, but that's just to cover up for my own inadequacies.
Yeah, he he got together with.
How is it that I have a good finish and I get blamed for your inadequacies of not knowing how to not pull down into somebody's door?
I figure I'm a victim of circumstance.
I was a victim of Nick's wreck as well.
I was too.
Hey, here's what nobody has brought up. After Josh hit me, I went across the grass and I saved it and brought it back up on the track and was able to bring it home 15th.
Hey.
So,
I parked mine in some tires on the infield.
Even Johnny saw that spin out and said, "Wow, nice save."
Hey, man.
So I want to talk about something about the race. It's something I've been thinking about, and it kind of goes off what you were saying, Ross, there about. So I'm gonna rant for a second. So bear with me, everyone. It'll be real quick though. So Ross, you said something about everyone was driving conservative, not wanting to cause the big one. And during the race and after the race, there were some comments about people checking up or people slowing down. People, whether or not taking it 3 wide is okay at certain points in the race, and I want to point out that the Truck Series specifically, in comparison to the Cup Series, is a mesh of people who are from TNT and people who are from Cup. There is a massive difference of skill levels in the Truck Series, which is one reason why I was looking forward to covering it, because I think some of the most interesting racing that happens in the Truck Series. But I think everyone was trying to be really conservative, which I know that was causing issues back in the field because you have an accordion effect. But I don't think anybody was trying to be malicious or anything like that. I think nobody wanted to be the one to cause the big one. And then regarding the 3 wide stuff, I mean, if anyone can take it 3 wide and they get through unscathed, great, more power to you. But it's what at some point, I think it was last season, maybe earlier this. I think it was earlier this season actually. Josh asked, what are the rules around passing on entering pit road? And I said, I think if you can outbrake someone, if you can do it without causing an accident, I don't think it's a problem. But if you cause an accident, you're at an accident. But if you cause an accident, you're at fault. I think that's a lot with the 3 wide stuff. If you can take it 3 wide and there's no incident, cool. But you have to know who you're racing around. And if there's people that are, for whatever reason, they have weaker equipment or they're less talented or whatever, and they can't hold their line in a 3 wide situation, taking a 3 wide might not be the best idea. I mean, I'm just, in the Cup Series maybe, but in the Truck Series, it's supposed to be a little bit lighter. It's supposed to be a little more fun, and it's a mix of talent. Skill.
Let's put it this way. Even the professionals said that iRacing was much tougher than racing a real race car. What we're doing is not easy, okay? We don't have all of our senses. No matter how much we try to imitate that, we don't have all our senses. I'm driving in VR with a transducer in the seat so I can feel the rumble of the car and the rumble of the track. And, I'm trying to imitate that, but you just can't imitate that, and it's much tougher. So doing things like going 3 wide, that's a personal decision. It's not can you hold 3 wide. It's the 2 guys that are going to be on either side of you. Can they hold 3 wide?
Yeah.
Which Kevin Haas experienced that with me. I got put in the middle, and him and whoever else, I don't know who was on the outside, were passing me, and they were holding their lines perfectly, but I screwed up. So I mean, you got to be aware of who's around you, and it's a mix of talent levels. And
exactly right. The truck race is, except for people like Blake and Justin and a few others, Joe, Steve. Well, Steve Gottschalk doesn't run trucks, but rare guys that you just know they're going to be running up front. You just know that's where they're going to be, and they're not going to be involved in having to go 3 wide and stuff. Now we did have, I believe, an incident last week where some guys went 3 wide and there was an accident. I can't remember exactly who was involved, but it was a matter of, can everybody hold their place? And not everybody held their place, and that's just the way it goes. That's a decision you have to make. Now, as far as racing somebody into the pits, again, that's a choice you have to make. Do you know you can get your car stopped by a certain time? And you're supposed to line up. You're supposed to line up on the right anyway. So trying to race somebody in side by side kind of is counterintuitive.
Well, when you're doing green flag stops, though, you have people who are more conservative and they'll brake well in advance so they won't have a mistake. And then you're trying to follow them in, and you know your braking point is a little bit more, and you're able to do something that they're not willing to do. And I did that at Daytona, like on practices going into the pit road. I've noticed where people started their braking zone was well before mine, and I had to shoot left. And so I didn't run into them because where I brake is way different than them, because I know that I can safely bring down my car, not like come screeching and sliding in and like, whoo, I barely made it to 55, but I still hit 55 well before the line, but I can brake harder near the end instead of having gradually slow down like other people will.
Well, your braking point is going to depend on the wear on your tires. What worked when your tires were half worn is probably not going to work in a braking situation under actual worn tires. And
I understand.
A lot of times guys aren't going to think about that when they come in, and they're going to end up locking up those back tires and spinning it coming into the pits. And then if they're trying to come in hot around other people, they're going to take other people around. So again, it's a personal choice on whether you want to take that chance or not. Do I want to look like the boob, or do I want to just kind of fall in line?
But at the same time, you lose especially at Daytona or any other track. If you have somebody that comes into the pit going 10 to 15 miles an hour slower on their entry versus you're losing time behind them trying to follow the leader inside the pit.
Ed Springer just said, "You guys know you're keeping Ross way up past his bed."
Yeah.
For you, Ed. I stay up late. I usually stay up till about at least 1 o'clock in the morning. I might, after I'm done here, I'll probably go on and play some Arma 3 for a couple of hours.
Hey, by the way, real quick on that, if you're not following Ross on Twitch, follow him on Twitch. When he goes live, I have attention. As long as I see that he's live, I watch it. It's always some good stuff.
Hey Ross, what's your Twitch username? So share it.
Mr. Unsavory. And there's a reason why, and this was before I got saved, but there's a reason why I have that name, because I used to play a game back in the 90s called Counter-Strike.
Oh, God. I still play Counter-Strike.
In Counter-Strike, you could hit a certain button and you could spray paint a JPEG on the side of the building. And I used to spray paint like bestiality porn and stuff like
that. This is a man that races a Christian league on Tuesday nights, ladies and gentlemen.
I do race a Christian league. I do Bible study. I do all that stuff. I do let an Effenheimer out once in a while. But the good Lord will look over that one for me, and I'll be okay.
Ross is the epitome. I can't remember what show it was, but Blue Mountain State, when they all go to church, and he goes, "Oh man, I love church, man. You can do whatever you want, and you just got to come here and tell God you're sorry, man. He'll forgive you." And he says, "Fucking A, I love this place." But hey, we're real quick. I pulled up the little transition. I pulled up the stats right now from the Cup Series. Ross, not looking so good there in the Cup. You're sitting 24th in points. What's going on with you this season, man? I mean, I can't say too much. Randy's not doing much better. He's not doing better at all.
I've missed a lot of races though.
All I could say is I'm a victim of circumstance. Once in a while I screw up on my own. I have no problem admitting that, but most of the time I'm a victim of circumstance, and I just get caught up in other people's stuff. There's nothing I can do about it, and they won't give us any more fast repairs.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck with what you got. So I think some of us guys in the back, they should give us unlimited fast repairs. Keep the race interesting.
Maybe whatever position you are in points is how many fast repairs you get.
Yeah,
so we're gonna give him 24.
Yes,
24 fast repairs there, Larry.
Hey, you could add 24 fast repairs. You still ain't gonna beat me.
You don't race.
Hey, we've missed
Larry,
the same.
are you going to hold on to the I finished third in my last race?
No, I didn't
Are we
even
gonna get
say
that
that.
again?
I didn't even say that. But I just want to point out we've missed the same amount of races. We both have 2 provisionals. We both had 6 starts, and I'm in 16th in points.
Well, this one time at band camp.
Well.
Wow.
Cody said you finished third in the last race.
Thanks, Cody. See, I didn't have to say it. People recognize around here. All right.
You know, I'm hoping to climb up the ladder slowly. You know, again, just staying conservative, staying consistent, and not trying to overdrive my car or overdrive. What I should say is overdrive my controls, because it's the controls that ultimately drive the car. And I'm on a pretty old setup. I'm on an old pair of an old set of ECCI wheel. It's motor driven, but it's belt drive. That's the wheel, and then they're 3-pedal setup. These things are, you know, probably 10 years old or so, but they still drive really good, and everything works good. And I got it for free, so I'm not going to complain about it. That's for sure.
Absolutely, and I want to say, man, you right now, your incidents per race is very solid in this league. So.
I try not to overdrive the car to where I'm going to have incidences and cause yellow flags and stuff like that. It's one of my biggest nightmares.
Hey, I just want to point out, Justin said that me and Blake have run the same number of races this season.
I don't know if that's a little bit of shade or if that's just calling out the fact that Blake has just done that well. But I like to believe that he's making fun of you, Larry.
I guarantee you he's making fun of me. It's Justin, but that's why he's the resident alien, right? Like, I'm sorry. I'm working on it. My next goal is to beat these guys at a non dirt track, and then if I can do that, then I can look toward Blake.
Maybe you can get second.
Whoa!
Live with that fame forever. Then he'll quit. He'll quit.
You know what? I'm with Nick on this. Screw you guys. I'm going home. I know, right? Well,
at band camp?
Well,
it's Chris's mom again.
Sound effects over there.
That still during that broadcast had me rolling. That caught me off guard. That was hilarious.
Just so you know, Randy, that just gave away the secret sauce. We thought, honestly, we were trying to figure something out and how it happened.
That's great.
That's hilarious. Man,
well, you guys going, did Randy bring in some girl or something? Was there a girl in there saying she loved Hot Carl?
Wouldn't be the first.
Now, hey, Ross, have you watched these podcasts yet or listened to them?
I have not watched them yet.
Well, see, that's disappointing.
I watched tonight's and got some good laughs, so it makes it worth watching again.
Well, just because of that, I'm going to unfollow you on Twitch. So.
Hey,
I'm usually flying on a Friday night. I'm heavily into Flight Simulator, and I got a yoke and controls and radio.
Love it.
All kinds of stuff. And so I usually do flying on Friday night, so that's why I don't watch the podcast. I'm usually flying.
Well, but I want to say, man, we got a question in for you right now. Justin wants to know, man, which one do you like driving more, the truck or the car?
I have to be honest, I enjoy the trucks more. I
agree.
I enjoy the diversity of the drivers. I enjoy the stableness of the truck. I feel I'm more competitive in a truck than I am in a car. And so I'll always pick the truck over the car. Again, I like the diversity of the drivers too, because you've always got somebody different to drive around, somebody you may not be used to, because there's guys, like you said, from TNT that are driving in there, and I'm not used to driving around them. So it gets good to get used to driving around them, because someday, what can I say? They're going to grow up and join NASCAR.
Become a real boy.
Hey. So I just want to point out a comment here that Blake.
I knew you were about to.
He said, I would not give Ross an IFR clearance.
I get IFR clearances all the time, man.
How are you looking forward towards Richmond this week, Ross?
I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm not a big small track fan, but Richmond's a pretty good track. I'm hoping to do well there. Like again, I'm saying as long as I'm consistent, I see a lot of other people making mistakes there. I think we're going to have quite a few yellow flags there. Just off the top of my head, I'm going to say 8 anyway, and that's a lot. But I'm going to say 8 because I think there's going to be a lot of self-spinning and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's going to be a good race.
Please no 8 cautions. I don't want to have to call 8 cautions.
Look, I had to call Daytona by myself and call it with cautions. I had to call the freaking it was the first TNT race this season without Randy and had like 30 cautions.
Wah. We used to call 8 freaking races a night. Every freaking night from 6:30 till 1 o'clock in the morning, and you guys are complaining about one freaking race? Give me a break.
Well, I want to point out that's why what you went to college for.
We also just came off of Martinsville to where that was a lot.
No. You guys did not get the Martinsville. We did. Me and Adam did the IVRL.
Nick.
He was in. Well, Nick was in.
I was driving.
He was driving, and Nick was. I forgot Nick's back. But he's back. But we did that. Me and Nick were calling that crap show.
Monstrosity of a race.
And you also gave us the rub and tug.
Yeah, absolutely.
Randy has given us some amazing quotes this year. I mean, there's the rub and tug. There's the sit on the butt kicker. There's the I hit everything except the concession girl. Randy, and then he told somebody this weekend, this last Tuesday, that they gave somebody a rub and tug, which was fantastic.
What?
So, yeah. Oh, Larry, you clearly don't watch Tuesday nights.
It's
Randy
too
Pepper
long.
loves to tell people, well, I don't care if it's too long. It's not past your bedtime. Stay up and watch your boys. I stay up here and watch for you.
It's like an hour.
You know,
yours is like 2 to 3.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to do any more of this stuff because the way the iRacing little dotted line stuff says, I'm not allowed to say anything sexist or
you can't be skinny dicking out there.
So all I can say is iRacing is the greatest thing ever. I love being able to broadcast on iRacing. iRacing gives me the opportunity to broadcast on iRacing.
You can't make it too obvious what you're saying. Like like a few weeks ago when I said that Chris was beating me off on pit road. So you just.
But see, that was vague enough because you were talking about the racing and everyone else took it differently.
Right.
Exactly. That's the way it's supposed to be. I told Nick, don't laugh at my jokes.
Just mute yourself.
Let them go ahead and let them, come to their own conclusion. If I say he's rubbing and tugging next to him, well, yeah, he is because he's right next to him and he's rubbing off the side of him and he's pulling the sheet metal back. Yeah, he's rubbing and tugging.
Phrasing, man, phrasing.
He's going crazy.
I'm gonna be Archer.
He's giving him a rub and tug out of turn 4.
Ross, you watch Archer?
I love Archer.
I knew you would, man. I knew it. I knew it. Ross looks like that guy.
I'm not the kind of guy that you'll catch watching like LA Confidential or something like that. I watch like cartoons. I watch like Archer and Cake and Futurama and Family Guy.
Futurama.
Yeah, Futurama. I love Futurama, man. That's awesome. Right there, man.
Futurama.
Hey, Ross. I get a dip, so I want to thank you for joining the podcast tonight. I also want to thank you guys for doing this again with us. So I'll be back next week.
I appreciate it.
Out here.
Bye, Nick.
Yeah, I gotta jump.
You gonna get a haircut?
Nick, I'll see you Tuesday, man.
Bye, Nick.
Bye.
I should try to get in on the pudding too here at the home before it's all gone.
The Jello.
You can't pass up dessert time, man. You pass up dessert time once and they forget you the next night.
Would you like some
All
more?
right, so I guess we should make our way around.
Yeah.
I will start with Ross. We're going to be coming up to Richmond this Sunday, Ross. We'll start with you. Who do you think will win?
I think Justin Anderson is going to win it.
And
like I said, I think there'll be 8 cautions.
Justin Anderson and 8 cautions.
Randy?
I'm going to go with Joe Dinsmore, and we're going to have 37 cautions. No, no. We're going to have. I'm going to say we're actually going to have 7 cautions.
Joshua Hanner and 1 caution.
Is Hanner officially in the Cup?
Wait, I thought he was running Cup.
No,
he hasn't been officially invited yet.
Well, then I got to change that, I guess. I thought he ran Cup.
So I need to follow up with Johnny on that. But
okay, well, if I can't pick him, let's go with. Man, I really don't like anybody else. Randy Pepper.
Randy Pepper.
That's a dream.
The new pedals finally get it done for my man.
I like short tracks. I do like running those tracks, but I can tell you what, that is not one of my favorite tracks.
How many cautions?
Oh, 1.
Ooh, optimistic. I like that.
Everybody drives cautious. Tricky track. The same people. The same idiots still drive like idiots, though. That's found to happen.
I'm going to say Steve Gottschalk. I picked him last week. He failed me. I'm going to go with him. He's always a solid pick to be up there running in the top 4. So that's who I'm going to go with. And I'm going to go with 4 cautions.
All right. Am I next? I'm assuming I'm next. You guys left it wide open. I'm going to go with Blake Gordon. And TNT had 3 cautions at Richmond, so I'm going to say Cup Series will be a little bit worse with 4.
Ooh.
All right, so I'm going to start with the cautions. I think it's going to be another rough race. I honestly think it's going to be 8 to 9, to where I think we're going to be mostly under caution again, because it's a similar track to Martinsville, to where it's short, it's fast, and it's tricky.
And slick.
So I'm actually going to go with the dark horse here. I actually think that I'm going to go with Kevin Pearson.
That's also a solid pick. He's does great so far this year.
Yeah,
like Daniel.
He's been another one of those that's been at the front a lot, and I think that cautions are going to play into strategy. And yeah, that's who I think's actually going to be able to pull it off, because we've seen a lot of bad strategies, or let me rephrase that: a lot of strategy screwing people.
You.
Nick.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick is the one that got so far this week has been absolutely screwed. I would just like it to call it out. I got a Blake caution at Daytona.
A Blake caution.
Because I was on the outside line, running in second, and I had 1 lap of fuel when the caution came out at like halfway through the race. And that's the only reason I didn't run out of fuel.
I like it. Wow.
Josh caution.
I mean, maybe we need to rebrand it.
Nah, I like the Blake caution more. That whole thing is just way too funny. But well, I guess that about wraps it up. Randy, you're late, but give me one out.
Hey folks, if you're looking for a guitar, please stop by the Guitar Act, 1672.5 Ridgewood Avenue, just north of Flemish and beautiful Daytona Beach. GuitarAddict.com for all your guitar needs. So.
Oh, I was definitely kick us out. Take us home.
You want us completely out of this. So you want me to take us home.
Take us home.
All right, folks. Hey, thanks for watching tonight. Watching the Ghost Fire Media podcast. We'll be back here once again next Friday night. I will not be here. I will be at the Grind in Ormond Beach playing music with Psychoustic. so I won't be here. These guys will be.
Caveat.
What is that?
You just reminded me of something.
Military term.
Ross, you said you could sing.
Karaoke.
I want to hear you sing.
No, I haven't sang.
Ross.
I haven't sang in years. There's no way I could sing. I can't do it.
Warm up the voice. La, 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 la.
So here's the question. Give us a hint on how to find this video on YouTube.
I'm under Ross Space G on YouTube. They're right there on my page.
I will find that.
That's
Don't
more
embarrass
than a hint. That's definitely that's going to be visited here real quick.
I'm on it right now, guys.
Don't embarrass me now.
Ross Space G.
I never said I was a rock star, but let's put it this way: I sang well enough that they kept bringing me back.
No offense, Ross, but looking at that picture, that is not you.
No, that's not me.
No, there's a different one. He's got 6 subscribers.
Oh, I got to find that one. Okay, Randy, you can take us home. Otherwise, I'll be here all night looking for Ross's YouTube channel.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. You got it now.
Send it in the chat. Thank you, Adam. Money.
You don't want to see it.
Oh, we're going to look at it. We're not going to throw it on here. We won't embarrass you like that, but hey, check the comments in the once we're done here. I'll toss the link in the comments so you can listen to the AOLL's very own Ross Gage sing a lovely tune, man.
We can listen to his angel eyes.
Wow, you want to come over and kick my dog too?
Well, hey, since we're doing that as well, catch this man, Mr. Unsavory, on Twitch. Don't worry, that's just the way he looks, folks. He's not actually dead. He's playing his game.
So I'm going to throw out one more thing before we part for the night. Don't forget to check out AmericanRegardless.com. Visit. It's Cody's company. Definitely, it's worth a look. I was looking earlier. Has some awesome stuff up there. Definitely check that one out.
Free merch. Yo, you look like Meatloaf.
Wow.
That hair is fantastic.
The hair is
Don't
fantastic.
let anyone tell you otherwise.
Hey, the hair is still fantastic, and that beard has been the official best beard on this podcast.
If you can't sing well enough, you got to at least have the look, and they're at least happy with that,
You got the
look.
look.
Randy, he keeps his hair long. He knows what it does for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Randy, take us home.
All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. It's the Ghostfire Media Podcast. We will see you next week here on the podcast at 8 o'clock once again. And don't forget about all the racing we've got coming up. Tuesday night, the IVRL. Then Wednesday night, we'll have the AOLLL. What the heck is he doing?
Giving us one last laugh.
Yeah, Sportsman Division. And then on Thursday night, we got the TNT guys racing the Guitar Addict Series. And then Sunday night, you get to hear these two guys up here. Well, one of them.
Those two chuckleheads?
Yeah.
They're that way.
They're that way on your
They're
screen.
somewhere.
Yeah, Josh and Carl on the Sunday night podcast. Hey, where the hell did you go? Get off my land. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the show tonight. We will see you next week from all the Ghostfire Media crew. See you next week, and so long from